it's Isabella here and welcome back to the channel. So today's video, I'm diving into a very fascinating topic and I really feel like we need to have more awareness on it. You guys do or don't know, I talk about many different corners of the internet, scams, unethical companies, and just so much more very fascinating stuff. So today we're going to be talking about KYTE Baby. And now the CEO has essentially screwed themselves. People just need to know about it. And there's so much happening with mistreating someone that they used to employ, the way that they're handling this stuff. And I know I have a lot of moms that follow me, moms, dad, just parents in general that follow me. It's a huge controversy that's essentially blown up all over TikTok. And we're going to talk about KYTE Baby and how they're essentially allegedly terminating someone's position simply because they have a child in the NICU. So before I hop into today's video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, or click the bell button down below. My merch, second channel, podcast, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff is in the description below if you guys want to hang out with me more. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. All right, guys. So first of all, let's talk about KYTE Baby and who is KYTE Baby. And honestly, every time that a lot of people look up KYTE Baby on YouTube, they're going to see tons of moms mainly giving reviews of products and talking about how they love them, hauls, and so much more. So KYTE Baby is essentially a clothing brand that is focused on children where they are offering items that are made from bamboo. I think the best way to categorize this is almost like luxury baby clothing in a way. They have sleep bags, stuff for babies, toddlers, adults, nursery, and home. That can range from around $20 or even higher per clothing item, which I'm going to be so honest with you here. That is quite expensive for baby clothing in my opinion. Now, an additional thing that I want to put out there that not a lot of people know is KYTE Baby was started by a mom. It was essentially to be like, oh my God, as a parent, I wanted more, I wanted different, and I'm going to offer that to you, which we love. We love seeing companies that actually start something, have a good motivation behind it. It's honestly really exciting to see. They wanted to essentially make it just more sustainable clothing, and I think it's honestly really amazing. So I have been seeing so many different posts all over social media of KYTE Baby and how it's a wonderful company. They offer so much and many moms use it. However, this is where we get into the serious drama, and oh my God, the way I was livid reading through it all. So I saw a few TikToks pop up talking about KYTE Baby and people are just not using them anymore and we need to stop. And I was like, wait a minute. Okay. Problematic company. We're stopped using it. Why though? And I started digging in and realizing that this is all starting with an individual by the name of Marissa. Now, again, a little bit of a preface is I am seeing posts from Marissa and Marissa's sister who are kind of filling us in on a lot of the information and other people that I also have seen that have been sharing their personal experiences with working with KYTE. But again, a lot of this stuff is alleged. I am just sharing what I am seeing. And again, with the way that the CEO is responding to this, I personally, in my opinion, believe that all of this is to be true. So Marissa is an individual who was employed by KYTE Baby. So she was actually a studio coordinator and would pretty much be in contact with models and organize photo shoots and just do a lot of work when it comes to like creating content for promoting the products and just KYTE Baby in general, which we love to see, right? So Marissa wasn't able to be with the company for very long, but she has been working alongside and doing a really good job from what we could see. So Marissa and her husband were really trying to conceive and have a baby. However, there was lots of complications along the way, infertility issues that they actually shared on a GoFundMe, which is honestly so devastating. I would never wish that on anyone. But with that, after a while of trying, they decided that they wanted to go in the route of adopting. And with that, for December 27th, they got a call saying that there was a baby who needed to be adopted that was 22 weeks and was going to be in the NICU and was going to have a very, very long recovery ahead, which is, oh my God, like that is so scary already. So the baby was around 9 hours away from Marissa and her husband, but they immediately got everything that they could and drove up and were completely like hands-on ready to take this on. I can't even imagine how stressful that must be to be like wanting to have a child so badly and then wanting to adopt and then being like, oh my God, this long recovery for a preemie baby. That is, oh, I'm so sorry that you guys have to go through that. Now, additionally, during this time, the company KYTE Baby already was aware and notified allegedly that Marissa and her husband were trying to actually adopt a child. So they apparently were very filled in that this was what they were going to do. This was the goal, right? So it's not like they were just blindsided. And either way, with a parent company, I would assume that you would be more understanding. And with the embodiment of taking care of your children and trying to do the best for them, I would hope that you would be quite understanding of that. Anything bad can go wrong and difficult time for parents in general. And you have to be there for the hospital. You don't want to necessarily leave. Like that's a very, very difficult position. And additionally, because the baby was located 9 hours away from their home, that also made things 10 times more difficult. So Marissa allegedly reached out to KYTE Baby and her bit boss and was like, hey, can I please work remotely? You know, like this is a very, very, very hard situation. This is what's going on. I can't do anything else about that. Please, I would be able to try and show up for certain photo shoots, but like I need to be able to work remotely. family, which quite frankly, when it comes to her and her work, makes complete and utter sense. And again, in my opinion, when it comes to businesses like this, you should be very, very willing to cater to and work with your family-based employees and how they are trying to, again, take care of a very emergency situation. This is not like someone can get out of it, right? And apparently she was completely denied of having a remote position. So again, I am reading off of some notes, and I'm also going to be including clips of the actual sister who is sharing more information as well, so that way you guys can see like what I'm discussing with this and hearing it from like the actual sister, like her words and not just mine. Trigger warning, miscarriage, loss. This is just a very overwhelming and difficult topic. Marissa had a miscarriage and almost bled out on the table during surgery because she was having complications. She asked to be remote for the next couple of weeks for healing, as that is a very intense surgery and a very traumatic one at that. They told her no.
I don't want to get emotional, but my sister has had over 3 years of infertility and loss. She's had 2 failed IUIs. She's had 4 miscarriages. One last December was the one that almost killed her. She wasn't miscarrying on her own, so they were gonna do surgery, and she almost bled out on the table. She started hemorrhaging. She almost lost her life there. Had to have blood transfusions, and obviously she needed to be off of work for a little bit to heal, recover, you know, and she let KYTE know, like, hey, can I just work from home? And they told her, no, you can't work from home. We need you here in person, even though the only day she really needed to be in person was like the day she needed to paint things or get things together, or the day of photo shoots, because she's in charge of making sure all the photos happen. And
her work knew that she wanted a baby and wanted to adopt as well. And even after her asking for remote work due to a very, very intense situation that she had no control of, they still denied it. Now, this is also really, really messy because allegedly there was phone calls involved leading up to this entire conversation about her trying to have remote work and also some time off. So allegedly there was a call between the founder of the company and 2 other employees, and a call letting her know that she will not have time off, period. And then another call allegedly happened claiming that she didn't have a baby, so she wasn't, quote, going to be allowed to have maternity leave or anything of that kind. There was 2 weeks paid off time that was offered to her, and she couldn't have maternity leave. Now, she asked for work from home in the NICU. They still again denied that. And what's worse is they also allegedly were telling her that if after those 2 weeks she did not come back to work, then she would be apparently just resigning from the company, and that would be it. Again, I am going to be including more clips of Marissa's sister sharing this information, so that way you guys can just see from actually her words.
How all of this happened where Marissa lost her job. So, sorry. A couple of days after Christmas, my sister and her husband finally got the call that there was a baby waiting for them. He had been born prematurely at 22 weeks. And he, at that point, was like a few weeks old. He had nobody there with him at the hospital, and, you know, right from the beginning, they prayed about it. They went down there to El Paso. We're here in the DFW area, so like 9 hours away. They went immediately to go be with their baby. He was their baby right off the bat. They've already adopted him. All that was done. Sorry. Within a few days, and they've been with him since. That was like December 27th. So they, sorry, I'm crying and I'm a hot mess, guys. They went down there. She let them know, like, she was over the moon excited, like, hey, I had a baby, or I have a baby, I'm gonna need a little bit of time off of work. And they had a call with Ying, Willow, and Celine, and my sister, and they had a call where they were like, okay, so what do you mean you want maternity leave? Like, you didn't have a baby. She kind of got them to agree to, like, a few weeks of, like, working at home. Just because we want you guys to know, like, who you're buying from and what really happens behind the scenes. So, anyways, she got them to agree to a few weeks of working from home. She got a call from, at this point, Ying was no longer on the call. She got a call from Celine and Willow, who at this point, you have 2 weeks, you can be with your baby for 2 weeks, and then you need to be back in person. And my sister's like, well, I'm 9 hours away with my baby in the NICU, who was born at 22 weeks, like, fighting for his life. He's sick. He's still sick. He probably won't come home till, like, March or April. He's really sick. And so she told them, like, I don't want to be greedy. Like, I just want the same thing Willow has. Like, I just want maternity leave, whatever you want to call it. They said, no, you can't have that. She's like, can I work from home? I'll still work. I'm not asking for time off. It could be, I'll work from home. I'll work from the NICU. Like, I'll still do everything you need me to do. The only thing that I won't be able to do is be there physically in person, for the photo shoot. So they said she had 2 weeks. She's like, I'm going to need more than that. They said, well, if you don't come back in 2 weeks, you're, what was the word? I wrote it down. If you're not here in 2 weeks, you're not fired, but you're like relinquishing your rights. You know, like you're done. You're giving up your job basically. And she's like, I am not giving up my job. I want my job. I need my job. I need that income for my baby with all these medical.
Marissa was not asking for just a bunch of paid off time. Like, she was just saying, please, I just need the time because my baby is in the NICU. I can't do anything about that. She was still wanting to work during. She wasn't asking for anything. And quite frankly, as a company that is based off of being a parent, family, and trying to offer better, wouldn't you be like, oh my God, a valuable employee that is going through something and their baby is too, why don't we do something? And again, this was finally leaked on the internet. People were like, oh, really? So we're going to mistreat new moms, and we're going to mistreat new moms who are adopting children and claiming that that is not actually their baby. So naturally, this kind of spread all over on the internet, and people were literally so pissed about this. They were like, oh, really? Okay, well, we're not going to buy from you anymore. We're done. And after a little bit, the CEO actually finally decided, the founder decided to actually speak out and make an apology. Now, here's the big fascinating part about this. There wasn't just one apology. There was one that was highly scripted, as we can tell, and then another one. And that's what we're going to be reacting to today.
Hey guys, it's Ying. I wanted to hop on here to sincerely apologize to Marissa for how her parental leave was communicated and handled in the midst of her incredible journey of adoption and starting a family. I have been trying to reach out to her to apologize directly as well. KYTE Baby prides itself in being a family-oriented company. We treat biological and non-biological parents equally. Through both my personal and professional experiences, I have the utmost respect for babies, families, and the adoption community. However, such respect and good intentions were not fully communicated to Marissa in the discussion of her parental leave. It was my oversight that she didn't feel supported, as we always have intended. As offered to her originally, we would find her a position whenever she decides to return to work. I also want to apologize to our KYTE community. I want to assure you that as the company's owner, I will always stand behind our values. I will be reviewing our HR policy and procedures to make sure to avoid hurting our staff and our community in the future. Finally, we're truly happy for her adoption and wish the best to her and her family. Thank you for your time and for listening.
So that was it when it comes to the first apology. Now, a lot of people were very pissed off at this first apology, and quite frankly, I am too. Here's the thing. If you're a founder and like, if you genuinely were like, oh my God, I did not know the person I employed was mistreating Marissa, what would I be doing? Oh my God, I would be getting on there like, hi. So there's an individual who decided to be awful. I didn't realize they were being awful to Marissa. I'm so sorry. They have been very quickly fired. But this is what we're offering to Marissa now. I deeply apologize, and this is what we're going to do to fix it. If you had no idea. If you were super involved, though, you're a an asshole. Second of all, this entire process, I don't even think should be happening. I think really honestly that she should be able to be like, oh my God, of course we should have exceptions for things like this. Like, I just don't know how that's not already kind of in the process when it comes to a parent-based family. Now, again, many other companies should already just be treating parents better. I fully agree with that. But I think especially with a company that was founded off of providing better for families, it just blows my mind how this wasn't something that was a no-brainer to give support to Marissa. So I'm very thoroughly pissed off about that. Now, additionally, I do want to say that there is a GoFundMe created by Marissa and how she's discussing some of these things just very briefly. And so I am going to have their GoFundMe linked in the description below as well if you guys are interested. But now after that, again, people still were absolutely livid. They were posting up like, again, getting rid of my KYTE Baby. I'm never buying from KYTE Baby anymore. They were talking about alternative brands of who they were going to purchase from instead of KYTE Baby. People were livid still because it really sounded like there wasn't actually any effort, and it just sounded like, yeah, okay, someone's lawyer was really adamant about writing the script up for you to, you know, not mess up this entire apology. And so now it looks like that this founder honestly got very freaked out. So she posted up a second apology. That's the one that we're reacting to now.
Okay, I'm gonna do this. So I just posted a official apology on TikTok, and the comments were right. It was scripted. I memorized it. I just basically just read it. It wasn't sincere, and I've decided to go off script and just tell you exactly what happened. I've been thinking about what went wrong, and I think sincerely what went wrong was how we treated Marissa. And I was the one that made the decision to veto her request to go remote.
So as we are seeing, the founder was the one who said, no, you can't go remote. And she's saying it. This isn't like a whole like, oh God, he said she's vocalizing, I did that. How in the do you sit there with somebody who's going through something so insane like that and be like, not remote work, we don't want that? It's not like she doesn't want to work. She's not asking for anything crazy. She's asking for a little bit of an accommodation so that way she can still work and be with her brand new baby. Like, do we even, like, again, I don't know much about this couple and Marissa, but do we know what kind of work the husband does? They live 9 hours away from baby. What are they going to do? Maybe they have to go to, maybe her husband has to go back to work. That is so insanely hard. And baby apparently is not going to be able to possibly get out of the hospital until maybe March. This is so insane to me how you would be like, no, I'm gonna veto her request for remote work. You're an awful person.
She has to stay in NICU to take care of her adopted baby. And when I think back, this was a terrible decision. I was insensitive, selfish, and was only focused on the fact that her job was had always been done on site, and I did not see the possibility of doing it remotely. However,
so you wouldn't sit there as a founder and be like, oh my God, let's figure out how we can make it remote. I can't comprehend how you can't get creative. There's one thing I will say is there's many jobs that do not need to have people in offices. And I think that's something we've learned after COVID. There's so many jobs that can be remote and quite frankly should be. There's many people who don't need to just sit in an office all damn day. They don't need to. If the work is not needing you to be there, then you shouldn't have to really. And for a job that she has, I would say that there's a huge aspect of it where she absolutely could do everything remotely. I think that's definitely possible. I'm very irritated at the fact that she was just like, I didn't look into the possibility. You fucking should have. You should see a mother that's stressed out of her mind. She's a brand new baby that's stuck in the hospital. You should immediately be like, damn, we got to figure this out. We got to figure out an option.
Doing it remotely. However, having a little bit of sensitivity, understanding, and flexibility would have accommodated her, but I did not accommodate her. So I cannot imagine the stress she had to go through, not having the option to go back to work and having to deal with a newborn in NICU. So thinking back, it really was a terrible mistake. I own 100% of that. I know people are going to say, well, now that it's backlashed and you're just saving, face. I think all of it is true, but at the end of the day, as human beings, as a mom, as a female owner of the business, and especially a baby business, I feel like I need to set the record straight, that I fully realize the impact of my action, my decision, my short-sightedness, that I did not accommodate Marissa.
I can't understand how you fuck up that bad. Like, it's one thing if there was lack of communication or somebody else that was a jackass and you're the founder, you're like, oh my God, one of my employees is mistreating another one of my employees. That's really bad. Like, but how do you sit there as a parent? Like, again, I don't have to be a parent to know that's bullshit. I don't have to be a parent to be like, wow, you really should have been more accommodating to this poor mom. But as a parent especially, and as someone who understands the difficulty that moms go through, just parents go through in general, and you said no, you didn't even entertain it, try and look into it, and now all of a sudden, with the backlash, you're like, oh shit, now I have to do something. Again, the first apology you thought was fine and were hoping that would smooth things over, and clearly it didn't because, yeah, there wasn't enough accountability taken. Now it's even worse. And now the money's getting impacted. Oh, now we're going to give the real apology. This shouldn't have even been a problem to begin with if you have basic human decency and empathy. But I guess we don't.
Marissa fully and did not even reach out to her personally, didn't even talk to her at all about what happened to her until today. And I really want to apologize to her and to the community. And I would really want to take this opportunity to say that I'm sorry, and I would, rethink about the whole thing and review our company's HR policy and procedures. I would like to make absolutely positive changes.
Well, okay, here's the deal, girl boss. I hate to break it to you, but it's not the fucking HR policies. It's the shitty people providing the policies and carrying them out. You are the one that said you vetoed it. It's not the policies, it's you. Quite frankly, it's not. If you're the founder, you can change them. You can be like, actually, I'm gonna make a little bit of a deal to help Marissa. I'm sorry, but if you're a very wealthy founder of a company, the way I would assume a good person with ethics would be like, oh, fuck it. We are gonna figure this out. I'm gonna help you. Literally, even if you're like, hey, I donated to our GoFundMe, let's share it. Let's give support to Marissa while she's gone. She's gonna have a job when she comes back. Like reassuring her that she has nothing to worry about and focus on her baby. This is not an HR problem. This isn't a policies and procedures problem. This isn't a fucking paper problem. This is a you problem. And you decided to play a game of fuck around and find out about the internet, and people are tired. People are tired of parents that are being mistreated. And quite frankly, I am sick and tired of seeing companies like this just across the board in any area screwing over people and just not having basic empathy and not even trying when you could do something about it.
And in fact, I think a lot of comments are right. We need to set the example because we are in the baby business. I want to be above and beyond in protecting women and giving them the right protection and benefits when they're having babies. So give me some time. I'm going to go through the policies and HR stuff and just come up with a better policy for all our employees. And as for Marissa, she's a fantastic woman. She has the biggest heart. And I've said multiple times to multiple people, including her family, that I love her as a worker. I enjoy working with her every day. She's one of the few people that I actually see every day on site.
That is so devastating how you see her all the time, every day. You love working with her, yet you couldn't give her help. She wasn't asking for much. Like, that is so devastating. Like, I can't even imagine what Marissa's feeling to think that she would get support through this and then essentially being like, oh, wow, they claim to care for you, but they really don't. Like, that is so devastating. Oh God, I can't even imagine.
I just really want to apologize to her again, that for the feelings and the damages that I have done. And we will continue to pay you the benefits as well as the remote position that you have requested. I understand if you don't want to come back to work anymore, but we will continue to pay you as if you were working remotely for us for those hours that you proposed until you're ready to come back. And your position, your original position, is always open for you when you come back.
Damn. So that was the response from the founder, the second one. Okay. I'm so shocked that this is a problem that we're seeing right now. I can't, again, like there's many companies out there that are awful and they don't provide proper maternal leave, paternal leave in general. Like, I'm very frustrated by that because I know that in my personal opinion, I don't think there's enough support when it comes to parents in general in the United States. That's my personal belief. Do it that way you will. I think that we could do a better job. Absolutely. But especially for companies who are founded on like family and baby and like all of that, I would assume more and more of a push for change, right? Like, I also can't comprehend having a company and not offering good benefits and making sure you're checking in that those said benefits are taking care of employees. Like, those are other people that have livelihoods and things that they have to take care of and emergencies. I don't comprehend how we even got to this point. But honestly, quite frankly, this is what happens when you do this kind of shit. You're gonna get aired out and in trouble. And as we can see by many other posts and TikToks and everything, people are livid. They're pissed off, as they should be. This is something that should never have happened. And a lot of people are not gonna purchase from KYTE Baby. And additionally, there's people who are gonna find videos like this and again, I can't tell you what to do, right? I don't know the quality of their products. I've heard the quality of their products are really good. So if you want to purchase on them, I'm not saying don't, but this situation and the way that this was handled and the content people are going to find out about this is going to truly impact that success of that business and how things go. Because people are going to be like, wow, baby company that doesn't really support babies and families and children. Okay, no thanks. Like, you know what I mean? So this is just so utterly disappointing. Again, I'm pissed off about it all, but I do hope the best for them when it comes to like changing. I would love that. But right now, I think this is utterly disappointing and I feel so bad for Marissa and her husband. Again, like I said, I will have the GoFundMe link down in the description below, and I will share other little details and information if I do see any more come out, but that is what's happening right now with KYTE Baby, and hopefully other people can just come across this and just see what's going on, and also know to just be very cautious about some of these companies because some of them genuinely don't care about you. And you would think a company that has those kinds of foundations and beliefs would care about you, but sadly it looks like greed will get in the way for many people, and that's really unfortunate. So that was it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate all of your guys' support. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.